for the circulation to go through that spine. And when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Now taking a deep, full breath. I want you to inhale as fully as you can, and when you do, hold your breath at the peak for the count of 6. And now release. And when you take your next breath, do the same thing, holding at the peak for the count of 6. And release. And one final time, holding your breath at the peak for the count of 6. Now I want you to allow your breathing to come to its own natural rhythm. Just think about the fact that there's nothing to do with your breath. Sitting in the here and now, see if you can feel or sense a place inside yourself that wants guidance from the universe. Maybe it's a part of you that feels lost and wants some guidance on what direction to take in your life. Maybe it's a part of you that doesn't know what the next step to take is. Maybe it's a part of you that needs a sign. I want you to locate and focus on that part of you that wants this universal guidance. I want you to invite it to grow and become an asking to the universe at large. I want you to imagine, sense, or feel that as this asking is projected out to the universe, that the universe hears you, and the environment around you is beginning to change. You're having a vision. And this vision begins with the desert. You find yourself standing in the middle of this vast desert, and you spend a moment observing everything that you can see. Take note of what time of day it is. Looking far at the horizons around you, what does this desert look like? Take note of what color the rocks and the sand are. If there are any plants, what are the plants like? What sounds can you hear there? When you take a breath through your nose, what smells do you smell there? You bend down to touch the ground and pick up some of the earth there. What temperature is it? Feel the texture of it in your hand. While bending down, you see a shadow flash across the ground, and you look up to see what cast that shadow. It's a raven that's landing near you. Its obsidian black feathers have an oil-like sheen. A bluish-purple iridescence flashes across them as this raven settles into place. Seeing this raven, you feel the divine orchestration of synchronicity at play. The raven is the bird of prophecy. It appears when it is time for change in your life. It tells of an impending change that is important regarding your future. You know that as a keeper of secrets and an intermediary between worlds, the raven is a messenger sent to you, a guide. You and the raven watch one another, and even though you and this raven cannot speak, you recognize each other. You both know what you were meant to do. You know that you are meant to follow this raven, and the raven is meant to lead you. Sensing that you know, the raven turns his head and takes off into the sky. He circles you once, as if to say, "Come with me." And so you follow him. No matter how fast this raven flies, or how far, you follow him. Across the desert, across the mountains, across cities, maybe even across oceans. You follow him when he turns right or left, or goes up or down, knowing that he is leading you directly to that answer that you seek, knowing that your answer will be wherever this raven lands. Breathing rhythmically and deeply, you go with this raven and follow this raven until he lands. And when this raven lands, it lands with an attitude of completion, of having done its job to bring you to the answer that you seek, knowing that it is now your turn. And so it settles in and waits patiently. Perhaps the message inherently where this raven has brought you is obvious. Perhaps it isn't. Either way, you take some time to look around and to listen and to smell, and maybe even to taste, in order to understand why this raven has brought you to this place, or to this person, or to this thing specifically. I want you to consider things like this. What does it mean? What is this a sign for? What direction is this telling me that I need to go? What step is it telling me I need to take? What change might this be telling me to make? What lesson is this teaching me? What inner truth must I acknowledge by seeing this? And how does seeing this change my mind or serve as a confirmation? You spend some time clarifying the universe's answer to you and to this asking by exploring the place, person, or thing the raven has brought you to. When you feel certainty about the answer and the meaning of where you have been led, you look back towards this raven and you take a bow. This is a bow of gratitude. The raven dips its head in recognition and takes off back into the sky. Again, the raven flies in one circle around you. His heavy wings create a thick downdraft of wind that you can feel from where you're standing. The raven arcs towards the horizon and you watch it disappear beyond sight. Having received your answer, you decide to sit down where you now stand because you have reached the end of your vision. You make sure that your back, neck, and head are straight. You slowly shift your weight from side to side until your body feels supported. And you gently close your eyes. You can tell the environment around you is once again beginning to change. You can feel that you're once again sitting or lying where you started this meditation. I want you to wiggle your fingers. Now move your head from side to side. You feel the air against your skin. You hear the sounds that can be heard there. You take a deep, full breath. Now another deep, full breath, holding at the peak for the count of 6. And then exhale. And one last time, taking a deep, full breath as fully as you can, holding your breath at the peak for the count of 6. And then exhale. You have brought back the message, insights, and answers you received by following the raven. Feeling them deeply, you can now open your eyes.